Always remember, your focus determines your reality. Stay close to me, and you'll be safe.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? How are we all doing today? Well, today's video, I want to talk about something a lot of other people are talking about right now in the game, which is some characters or teams that are good for you guys who are just starting off playing the game right now in 2021. So, I was watching Cubs' video, and actually I was watching some of AP Gaines' video. I'm not sure if you know who he is, but he's a great content creator. I'd go check him out. But just like a lot of these guys doing videos on this topic, and I thought it was worth for me to bring up as well. So these are going to be some of my 10, maybe like more than that, because I have a few more I'll talk about and add into the list. But just like some characters in the game that you can get pretty early on in the game, not much investment whatsoever at all. And they can prove to be very, very big for you in your account, and they can provide a lot of great things for you, not just in like one particular mode, but in really more than just one mode. So as you can see right here on this top part of this list, there's a lot of Empire here. And I think two of these guys, Palpatine and Thrawn, you need to have Phoenix for them to even have a chance of getting them. And it is kind of annoying to get them built up early on because they're not the greatest, but you kind of need the Phoenix anyways in this game if you want to unlock these better Empire characters. So just like to get these two out of the way first, you do need to have some Phoenix built up for them, and that'll take you a bit of a journey to get them. They're all pretty accessible from just playing the game early on in the game. And they're probably going to be your first team to get built up anyways. But if you can get them done, get them around, 7, 8 gear, or gear 8, gear 7 to 8 and 7 star, that's a great way to get your Thrawn and your Palpatine. And then, of course, here we have some other ones. And then we have Vader. So Vader, he's actually a lot easier to get nowadays from when I first started playing. Remember this, guys, I first started playing back in 2015, so a lot of this stuff has changed, and I'm actually going to throw in a couple of these ones that I feel like have been pretty good for me in my early game than what it might be for your guys' early game, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Anyways, Vader, he is on this list because he is really easy to get nowadays. Yeah, you could wail on his stuff, but honestly, just get him from your achievements. Get him, I think, from the fleet store and the fleet shipments. He's actually pretty easy to get nowadays. You can get him, I think his unlock is 4-star, and as soon as you get him unlocked 4-star, he's going to be just great. Ideally, you want to get him 7 stars so you can maximize all of his stats out, but he's going to be just as fine early game for you at 4 or 5 star, whatever the unlock is, I forget. But Vader's definitely a great one to get. He also has a pretty dang good ship. And a lot of these guys here have good ships, which is something I like to bring up a lot, especially considering the fact that I think you can unlock the fleet mode at like level 65. So you definitely want to be on the lookout for guys who are not just good as is, but you also want to have a good ship to go along with them. I think that's pretty huge to have in fleet. And for early game. So that's why the next one here is TIE Fighter Pilot. He is on the Cantina 4B. A lot of these guys are going to be on Cantina, by the way, just because Cantina is one of the easiest ways to unlock characters in a game, just plain and simple. So you get now 2 of his shards because of the double drops nowadays. The older characters, like TIE Fighter, you get 2 more of his shards, so it makes the farm even faster. And he is a pretty dang fast character. Moff Gideon is like the fastest non-Galactic Legend character in the game, but this guy is right up there with him. Not super crazy fast like Moff, but definitely very fast. And he works very, very great with all these other guys like Emperor Palpatine. He works great with Vader. He works great with Thrawn. He is a very, very great and strong guy to have here as a support. He can do some nice damage, but he's going to be spamming debuffs with his TIE Strike and all that sort of stuff. And he has even more evasion built in there. So he's great. Getting him pretty early on for his character, but also his ship is pretty dang good as well. I think his node is on what's like 1C. It's like one of the earliest ones for those nodes in that fleet cantina thing or whatever that mode is. But pretty much just allows you to get a very nice ship as well. This is like one of my favorite ships in the game, honestly, guys, because I remember using this to counter negotiators and Millennium Falcons way back in the day. And I still like to use him. He's great nowadays still with the Empire fleet, and I'm sure early on in the game, while you get the Chimera or Tarkin's capital ship, I don't know the name of that one, but it's great for that too. I think it's the Executrix. But it's great for that too. You get a lot of use out of this character and also his ship. So definitely be on the lookout for this guy if you guys were going to go for a strong character for both, squad and also for fleet. So there you guys go there. And I guess even Moff, I forgot about Moff, but Moff is great now, especially considering the fact that he is on a Cantina node, which is 4E. So like on the same, around the same node as TIE Fighter. You can probably go for Moff if you want to go for Moff. If you want to focus more onto just your squad, you know, arenas or your just normal stuff and don't have to worry about as much for the fleet. But I think TIE Fighter is pretty good. If I were to choose between the two, I'd probably go for Moff nowadays because he has a lot more control with some of his control of the situation and just how he kind of works. And he's a bit newer. He's a bit more fresh than TIE Fighter. But I do like TIE Fighter's TIE Fighter. So there you go there. And next up, here's our next 5 I want to talk about and go over really briefly today. So, and these are ones that are just either going to be very great for you early on in the game. They have more bang for the buck in their nodes, or they're just really annoying early on in the game. A lot of these ones are great for GAC as well. I'm going to save Crew for my very last because I think he's my favorite one out of all of these. But let's start us off with Biggs, because Biggs is like one you might not see on a list like this, but I gotta say, Biggs is like one of the easiest characters to unlock early off in the game. You get him from the Galactic War Store, you get him from a Cantina, and he's even on Dark Side, a hard node. So, super easy to get. If you want to get his counterparts Wedge, I think he's also pretty easy to get. I think he might be on that Cantina, but I might forget. But I really just want to bring up Biggs himself, whether it's with Wedge or not, because I like his assist a lot. It's on a very low cooldown. Early on in the game, you can have this be very nice to you and just get a bit more turns off, a bit more DPS. And he's very easy to get as well. He's needed for, you know, a future Galactic Legend Luke. But also his ship is very, very nice as well. So I honestly forget where you can get this, but I'm pretty sure it's from the fleet store as to where you can unlock his ship. But his ship is a very, very great tank in the game, like insanely great, especially with the rebels. This is one that you want to have. So he's great early on in the game, just for his character, I would say. And also he leads you for more stuff down the line with, you know, a great tank for a rebel fleet, for more Galactic Legend stuff. And honestly, he's just as pretty good as is. I just like this guy a lot. So that's why he's on this list. Biggs is pretty dang good, guys. And then next up here, we're going to have Bastila Shan. Bastila Shan is not, you know, as easy to unlock, but definitely one I would say is worth getting still early on in the game because of her leadership. It's going to be a pretty long while away for you guys who are starting off to get JKR, which is Jedi Revan. I abbreviate a lot, but Revan is a long ways away for you guys who are just starting off if you're not going to be spending on the hyperdrive. So I would recommend Bastila Shan because she has great Jedi lead synergy with all your other Jedi. So she gives out a lot more TM, a lot more protection up off of her lead, and more damage and tenacity up. So it's a very, very strong leadership still in the game, especially for early game. You know, you'll probably find me on my GAC streams using this lead still with my other Jedi, and it's going to be just as fine. But especially for you guys who are newer into the game and earlier, definitely one of the best leads for the Jedi still in the game. I like her a lot. And like I said, she's a bit more tough to unlock because of her node being a bit, you know, further down the line, being 5B, and her fleet being 2D, but definitely still worth it, I would say. And the nice thing about her is you don't have to have her 7-star. You can use her at around a 3, 4, 5-star, and she's going to be just fine. So, great one there, Bastila Shan. She enables your Jedi to do a lot more stuff for you in your game experience. So, couple more I want to talk about here. Dooku and Nute Gunray. Kind of the same idea here. Dooku first off, though. He has a lot of early on nodes, so extremely easy. He's also got a 6G one a bit further down the line. And I'll bring it up right now. GBA, Geo Brood Alpha, is a great one to go for early on in the game, but his node is just a little bit further down, but still a great one to get. And I do like him for the whole Geos, so you know what? We'll probably toss him in this list, but just know that he's a bit further down the line for his farm. But Dooku, however, is not. You can get him very early on in the game, and he can be very, very annoying too. He's gotten a couple of touch-ups since I first started playing, and he's still a great character. I gotta say, he's very, very annoying. He even has a new leadership now in the game, so he's a great one to get. I like Dooku a lot. No ship, sadly, but maybe we would get one of his ships down to the road. We'll never know. But next up is Nute. Nute's great here as well. Very easy to get. Very, very easy. He's in the Squad Arena store. He should be like one of your first ones you want to get in the Squad Arena store. Just get him going. He's very, very annoying nowadays with his extortion. He has a great leadership. Just all around very, very annoying, especially in like some GAC. If you're early on in the game and you're going to access GAC, he's one of the best defensive leaderships in the game. Just, in general, I would say he's still going to be great even in like Div 1, the top of the top of the divisions for GAC. He's going to be very great, guys. So he's very easy squad right there. No ship either, but definitely a great one. GBA is also going to be slotted in here as well. I like him a lot. He really boosts up the whole Geo faction as a whole. But the last one here I want to talk about before I really hop off is probably the best one in this list, I would say. And this is going to be Kylo Ren Unmasked. So not only do you have one of the best attacker ships in the game, especially for early games, right here, the TIE Silencer, but also you have one of the best durable tanks in the game, especially for early games. I mean, this guy, even like Relic 7, I have him for my Kylo Ren Unmasked team. He's a stupid tanky. He is so tanky. He's hard to kill. And guess what? He has probably the best node in the game for farming. You not only get his character unlocked, but also you get his ship at the same time. It's like a 2-for-1 combo, guys. It's so good. It really is. And I also think there's a node for Bosk, his Houndstooth, and also Jango Fett. I might forget about that. I might be wrong there, but definitely a great one as well. But for this one, guys, Kylo Ren Unmasked is such a great tank. I remember using him back in the day when Darth Revan and Malak first came out, and I was using him as a tank to be that pseudo tank to absorb some of the death marks, and he was being used as a slot in 5th for my Jedi team. He's so great. So great. But definitely one I would put on this list because he's so easy to get on that Cantina 3F. You get 2 things for just 1 node. It's amazing. His ship's so good. You can use his ship in really any other fleet. You could use him with like some Rebels. You can use him with like a Chimera, one of my favorites to use him with. Or if you get the Finalizer, go for the Finalizer. But so great, guys. Really great stuff here. I like Crew a lot. He's like one of my favorite characters in the game. So I think that's about it. Very briefly though, if you guys are going to go really hard on Cantina like you might want to early on in the game, keep in mind some of these ones from this store and the shipment. A lot of these guys they're not the greatest, but there are some very good ones. So ones I would go for, if you are going to get a lot of currency from doing a lot of the Cantina battles, I would go for either Ahsoka first because you want to build up your Jedi, or you can maybe go down the route of 5s. I like 5s a lot. When I first started playing the game, I went for, I think, Boba Fett and some like these old Dakas and whatnot, and Qui-Gon because I love them. Back in the day, these guys were all bad anyways. Didn't matter who you went for, they were all bad. But nowadays, I would probably shoot for Ahsoka first because she's a lot of great synergy with the Jedi and also with 501st. 5s is a great tank. He has a ship as well, and Ahsoka does too. So a lot of great things there. In here, if you get this store opened up, you can go for a lot of different stuff. If you want to build up your geos, go for that. Anyways, there's like a lot of different ways you want to go about this. This is just about my favorite characters you want to get off early on in the game. In this store, I do like I said, Nute Gunray. He's down there. And who else I like a lot? Akbar for his capital ship. Very good one there. Sometimes Tarkin if you want to go for the Empire fleet. And that's about that. For this one, I do like Biggs, like I said. I think that's about it. Guys, that's my little list here today. If you guys don't agree with much of what I had to say here, let me know down below. I probably could have added, or maybe I missed some, but I do like this list. This is kind of going back to my old school days of playing back in 2015, and I also want to incorporate some new stuff in today's game with how nice the farms are, the quality of characters, and whatnot. I do like these ones a lot, though. And I think that's probably it for me today. If you guys do want to help support the channel, feel free to sub. We're trying to hit our 15K sub goal by let's shoot for May. I know that's probably a while away, but May is a good time to hit 15K, I would say. And we can do a fun giveaway for that. How about that? But yeah, thanks guys for watching today's video. I'm trying to get feeling better as well. I think I still got COVID, but who the heck cares? I feel amazing. I feel so good. But yeah, thanks for watching guys today's video. Until next time, I will see you later. Peace out and have a good one. See you guys.